Welcome to another episode of REVXP Presents. I'm Chris Mann, the SVP of REVXP, the gaming division of the global integrated sports marketing agency Revolution. And today I'm really excited because a really different episode to share with you. Today we've got Mykiah Bonhom from Shenandoah University. What's up, Mykiah?
What's up?
How's it going today? So listen, so usually we have people within the industry, brand marketers, we have people from teams or leagues or properties, but Mykiah's got a really cool story, and I've been working with him over the last year plus. He's been crushing it out there, getting experience across a variety of different things. And so I wanted to give him an opportunity as a soon-to-be graduating senior, majoring in esports, to have an opportunity to talk about the experiences he's been having, what's cool, what's not cool. He's the target demographic that brands are looking to engage through gaming. And so there's a really, there's a lot of insights I think he's going to be able to drop on here. So welcome, Mykiah. It's great to have you. I'm really excited to share your story with everyone. How's it going today?
It's going good. I'm glad to be here. This is the first time I've ever really done anything like this, so it's definitely something new, but I'm very excited to share my story.
That's awesome, man. Well, listen, don't be nervous. You've got it. You've been crushing it. So let's talk a little bit about the experience that you've been kind of sharing with me over the year plus since we've met. You've been gaining incredible experience in the industry. You've worked the Halo Championship Series. You were down in Raleigh. You've done the esports awards. You've got an internship with the Washington Justice. And beyond gaming, you've done stuff at the Super Bowl, the U.S. Golf Men's Open, and even around the Orange Blossom Classic, which is an HBCU football game. Did I capture everything? I know you've been super busy keeping me up to date on the great work you've been doing.
Yeah, it's been great. When I was a freshman, I definitely didn't expect that I would have all of these experiences. I just saw that, I could study esports and I was, sold on the program. But since I've gotten here, it's been so great getting all of the different experiential learning opportunities that I've gotten. Like you previously stated, I've went to Raleigh, I've been to South Korea, I've been to Orlando, I've been to Seattle, all of these just working various different esports events. And it's just been such a great time. And, it's sad to look back on, but I'm also very excited to take the next step in my life.
Well, I think you and I met through a buddy of mine, Neil Johnson, where you were part of a program, and Neil was bringing in people to talk about their experiences in esports and gaming, and kind of so you and the rest of your students could learn about kind of how to get a job, right? And you really took that to heart, and I've done I've been in the industry for 20 years working in the sports and entertainment industry. I've done a lot of these, had a lot of conversations with people. People always asking, how do you get into the industry? And the one thing that I always say is network and get experience while you can work for free, essentially, in college. And you've really taken that to heart, and you've done a good job in essentially making continuing to keep me up to date and having me get invested in what you're doing. And that was one of the things we talked about as well. Make meaningful connections, because those connections are opportunities that people will help you. It's not just don't send somebody a random message and say, hey, can you help me get a job? It's about creating a meaningful connection, and you've really done that. So kudos to you. And that's why I've got you on the show now. And now we've got a cool opportunity to share your story and what you've been doing. So you're doing it the right way. And let's jump in, because I want people to kind of understand where you've been doing and kind of, again, you're the target demographic that brands are looking to reach in gaming. So let's hear what you have to say about activations. So first and foremost, what games are you playing right now?
For me personally, I used to play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege, but we played that every day, and anyone who plays Siege know that that's a very hard game to play every single day while balancing school. So we took a little bit of a break, and now we've been getting really into Overwatch 2. Season 3 just came out today, actually, so my friends and I are very excited to go and play the new season. We're really enjoying that. I also tend to play a single player game while I'm playing multiplayer games, because competitive games can be a little bit draining sometimes. So I'm also just been playing the Batman Arkham games, because I've never really had the chance to ever play them. So that's pretty much what I'm playing right now.
That's awesome. What are you? Who are you maining in Overwatch?
I can't aim, so I'm a Moira main. I throw out the orbs, I heal my team. And I feel good about myself because I'm not trying to hit anything, because I can't do that.
Hey, we had some Overwatch folks on before that I've played with, and I feel you. Much love to the support mains out there, because they keep your team alive, and there's no shame in that one, especially in a game like Overwatch. So, As a soon-to-be graduating student, we talked a little bit about the experience you've been gaming in the industry. Can you talk about what's like one of the highlighted experiences and something that you learned?
I would definitely say the greatest experience I had was my sophomore year after I had my Washington Justice internship. I knew that this is really the industry where I want to be. And so I didn't know how exactly to get into the industry. So I remember we were all looking at working. It was like the first major for the Halo Championship Series in Raleigh. And everyone, all of my fellow classmates were looking around, trying to figure out how we could get to this event. And then I remembered that through the internship that I met Neil, I also met Adam, the CEO of Esports Engine. And so I was like, hey, he said, reach out to him if I ever need anything. It's about time to pull my card. And so I reached out to him and I was like, hey, we're looking to get a couple opportunities for students. And so, he graciously, gave us the opportunity and we worked multiple events with them. And that experience taught me that wow, me being a college student is like a really great selling point for me just because, I'm ready out there to go and get experience. All I have to do is just get my face in front of people. And so I've just been working these various events. I'm always networking. I'm always reaching out to people on LinkedIn. I'm always emailing people and I'm always just trying to get my face out there because I just try to make sure that when people take a chance on me, they not only regret it, or not only are happy about it, they're surprised because they're like, wow, this kid really is passionate about this and really wants to work.
Yeah, and I think that's really key. It's like, a lot of people are passionate about the industry and wanting to work in the industry. But the big thing that I always see is like you're passionate, but you don't do the work. And you've clearly done the work. You've used the resources that Neil essentially armed you with, the connections, the network. That's the most important thing. And I think that's for those of you out there that are in a similar position or looking to work within the gaming industry or really any industry, it's getting using the time in college and when you're at university to gain that experience. And so you've done that. You've been able to make meaningful connections, and now it's time, hopefully, for you to land somewhere great. So you can continue your professional career. So. When we talk about a lot of brands, brands coming into gaming, they want to reach this young, digital savvy audience that's cord cutting, that gaming is their number one passion point. And obviously that's you. So you're in a unique position right now to talk to brand marketers out there through this vehicle of REVXP Presents. Could you tell us a little bit about what are some really cool partnerships that you've seen in gaming and what's resonated with you and why?
I would definitely say the biggest partnerships that resonate with me are partnerships that put something tangible in the consumer's hand. So what I mean by that is the biggest example I can think of right now is I watch a lot of YouTube. And I watch a lot of KSI. I don't know if you guys are familiar with who he is, but him and Logan Paul teamed up to make Prime Energy. And now Prime Energy is they partnered with Arsenal and they just now partnered with UFC. Those are the type of partnership activations that really just get me excited because I'm like, wow, I get to support my favorite consumer or my favorite influencer, but then I also get to support the brand that's supporting them. That's really cool. And so, I would love, I think there are some activations in that realm, but me personally, I love to see things where I can actually physically get something tangible because it's nice to see my teams are supported. But I mean, honestly, I like something too, if I'm being very honest. I'd like to see some things and stuff because I feel like I'm part of the process, if that makes any sense.
Well, I think you hit on key is, and something that we talk about here is how do brands find success within gaming is adding value to the conversation, adding value to the experience of the gamer, right? And so the value that KSI and Logan Paul are bringing to you, as a Prime fan, is partnering with teams that you follow and giving you maybe access to different content or opportunities or offers that you may not have had if they didn't have those partnerships. And so it's a really good example. I think a lot of times we try to a lot of times it's almost like we're trying to come up with something out of the box or never done before, or this or that, or it's trying to go crazy. And at the end of the day, you don't have to recreate the wheel on some of these partnerships. You just have to find really great ways, unique ways to add value through that partnership to make it resonate with someone like yourself.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And one of my dream partnerships is definitely, I still haven't seen it yet, at least, but I would love to see some esports brand partnered with a polo Ralph Lauren. I am a big fan of polos. I'm a big fan of stuff, and I just would love to see some type of like esports polo shirt. And because I'm just, I love esports, but I also am a fan of like professional development stuff. And I just want to throw that out there because I'd love to see something like that because I would buy that instantly. I'm wearing a polo right now, actually.
Well, they didn't do an exact collaboration, but they did more of like a marketing push. I don't know if you saw G2 a few years ago did a Ralph Lauren deal where they outfitted G2 players in polo gear, but they didn't actually like do a kind of a probably more of a collaboration that you're looking for where like G2 was on the stuff. So check it out. It was a really cool one, but they weren't like selling G2 polo gear. They had a deal with Adidas at the time. So, but it just shows you like gaming culture, gaming opportunity, big fashion brands coming in, kind of reaching, a younger demographic as yourself. All right. So as we wrap up here, the floor is yours, Mykiah. Give us the elevator pitch. What is your dream job in gaming? What is your dream? Why should people out there want to hire you?
Well, oh man, oh boy. Well, my dream job right now is to work in partnerships and in sponsorships. I came from an environment where I was a very quiet kid. I didn't really speak up for myself. I didn't really talk at all. Doing something like this was unimaginable. And now over the years, I've literally gone from being the quiet kid to the person who goes up to people and just starts a conversation with them on a whim. And that growth to me has shown that I can do anything that I want to do. And, I just have to push myself and push my boundaries. And so I feel like partnerships is definitely the realm where I can grow the most as a person. We've previously stated it. I've had various experiences traveling and going to these events and working with the Esports Engine and the Washington Justice and, the Super Bowl. And it's just been awesome because, whenever I go, I always remember I have conversations with people and they're always like, man, you're so eager. You're so like, why? Like you're gonna have no problem getting the job, man. And it's very nice to hear. But, I would just definitely say that my biggest asset, at least for me, that I think I can bring to a company is that I acknowledge that I don't know everything, but I am excited to learn so much. And I don't need to know everything to be successful. I've had many situations at Shenandoah where, I don't know exactly what I want to do. And I'm like, I want to get partnerships experience, but I'm like, how exactly do I do that? Well, I reach out to random people on LinkedIn and I go and I have conversations with them. I go to events like the Halo Championship Series and I, ask questions and ask people about sponsorship activations and ask them what they're doing in the space. I just go out and I figure it out. And I think that is definitely the biggest asset that I can bring because a lot of people love the fact with me, like my professor and mentor, Dr. Griziak here, he said that like, Mykiah, you've literally built your own path. No one else here even talks about partnerships and sponsorships except you, and you've taken it to a whole nother level. And it's just great to see you, and I'm very excited. So, I think that, I could go on for a while because it's something that I am very passionate about, but I don't want to take up too much of people's time. But yeah, that is why I feel that people should hire me.
Mykiah, you've done a fantastic job. I know this was probably a little nerve-wracking to get on here, but kudos to you. Kudos to you for being a sponge, and you don't need to know everything at your experience level. You learn things throughout the time. That's why you get experience and you start off and the coordinator and you work your way up to manager and eventually you continue to grow your career. So that's fantastic that you recognize that you're a sponge, you want experience, you've done a great job. And so kudos to you, Mykiah Bonhom from Shenandoah University. It's been great having you on here. It's been really exceptional to be able to follow your story and to help in any way and support any way I can. We're going to link to your LinkedIn on when we post this on our LinkedIn and through our YouTube. So thank you so much for coming on. For those of you joining us from Synopsis, we really appreciate your time. Keep tuning back in. We've got some great guests for the year. We've got some really incredible episodes coming up. And until next time, have some fun, play some games, and take care, everybody.
Thank you.